Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron. We've got an interesting one today. This is supposed to be a multiplayer kind of mod thing, so a 4-player. But I wanted to try it out with Battle Royale, and let's see who truly is the better here. We have the Allies on one side. We have the Axis kind of sandwiched. We have the Soviet Union in their own bubble, and Japan in their own bubble. So yeah, because Japan, while it was in the Axis technically, them and Germany weren't really best buds. I'm pretty sure if the Soviets fell to the Germans would have eventually invaded Japan after making sure the Allies weren't going to attack them. Just a hunch there. But yeah, there's the Allies, there is the Axis, and then, yeah. So the Allies don't seem to have any troops over here, so that's kind of unfortunate. All their troops are in North America. I love that. Just love that for them. We're going to do Battle Royale, see who comes out the victor here. Japan, the Soviets, who knows? We're going to find out. So let's hit that unpause and get this a-moving. I have a bird on me, so if you hear chirping or me going like, ow, the bird did something kind of dumb. But anyway, yeah, so we've got the Soviet Union attacking the Axis. The Allies are at war with Japan. Okay. So they've gone to war with Japan initially. Now, Japan actually has units on the border here, so Japan will probably be able to swiftly move through before the Allies can get actual troops on the ground out of America. That's kind of the Allies' problem, is all their troops are in America. But once they start making troops in Europe, they might be a little better off. But the Axis versus the Soviets. The Japanese are pretty strong too. They could do quite well here. They're all pretty even, I think, factory-wise. Well, not really. The Allies have a shit ton. If the Allies can manage to hold their own here, they could create quite the military might. But it looks like they might lose India pretty quick here. They're trying to get troops across, but Japan just has the naval advantage right now. But you can see they're sending troops. They're flooding them in there. They just need to make troops in India, I think, to be able to do anything about it. Axis versus Soviets, though, definitely the war to watch here. Soviets taking 90,000 casualties, Axis at 65, but the Axis are losing ground, as you can see. The Soviets are definitely pushing them back in multiple zones. They've taken most of Romania and the such. My bird is grooming my beard, I think. So yeah, they're taking that kind of frontier land, and they're moving troops into Greece and in that area. The Axis just don't have the troops to man this line. And you can see here, they just don't have the manpower to fully defend the line. So they're coming. The Soviets are kind of coming out the bottom here as the Axis desperately try to reinforce. Now the Axis have, give or take, 200 factories. So do the Soviets. So they're pretty even factory-wise, which is good. It looks like the Allies are defending New Guinea now, and they've landed some troops to be able to try and defend Singapore and Malaysia. Looks like they've also landed in India, so that the Allies are now actually attempting to defend the line. Hello, bird. Can I help you? She's climbed up my beard onto my face. What do you want? No, you fell. Good job. We knew that wasn't tangible. The Allies should be making a shit ton more units, though. They should be trying to get troops everywhere. Obviously, they want to worry about Japan first of all. If they can kick Japan off New Guinea, then they could move these troops into Malaysia and India and defend that area, but whether they'll be able to do that is another question entirely. Axis still losing a ton of ground. Battle for Athens going on here. The Axis are doing okay defending. As you can see, the Soviet troops that are trying to take the city are really shit. They've also got troops sitting on the Aegean that they could flood into that region, and they could retreat onto Crete or even onto Rhodes in the Dodecanese. But We'll see whether they do that. If they were smart, they'd take these troops and defend Athens with them. They could even make a breakout, I think, with that many troops in Athens, but that one guy there is just not going to do it, and then the Soviets will take Athens, I think, pretty quick here. They just don't have the power to keep that as the Soviets envelop the Balkans. Germany's doing okay holding Germany itself, though. That line's moved, but not as much as down south here. Which is a good thing. Bird, are you trying to eat my headset? That's fine. Also got a new mic. Let me know how it is. First time trying it out. Did some test stuff. And it sounded pretty good, but I'm hoping that it records well. Because it would suck if it didn't. I mean, so what do we have here? We've got the Axis with an army of 55 divisions, but the Soviets, even on the low end, are well above that. That's kind of the problem. The Soviets can pump out just so many units so quickly. Yoshi, what are you doing? Stop climbing my fucking beard. God, bird. The Soviets are taking a lot more casualties, though. That is the one thing. The Soviets will take a ton of casualties on this. Yeah, Japan has been pushed back in Malaysia. I don't think they've been pushed back in India, but they have been, by the looks of it, they look like they're being held in Burma. Got a little bit of a repeat here of World War II. Oh, they have been beat back from New Guinea, and it looks like the Allies are going on an island hopping campaign. Yeah, in and around this region, trying to take these islands, which makes sense. If they can make gains and get into southern Indochina, they actually might have better luck in taking Japan. I think they'd have to invade the home islands, though, even if they took all of China back. This will be a lengthy war. The Axis-Soviet war won't be. The Soviets, if they invade Japan, then this will be a shorter conflict, absolutely. But if they don't invade Japan and attack the Allies, then that'll be a different story. Because the Soviets will sweep through France very quickly. They're also going to take Libya, so they'll land troops in Libya and take Egypt, Syria, and the region, and then, of course, Algeria they'll take. They won't, they might be able to land on Britain. Maybe. I don't know. If they do it quick, yeah. But if they don't, then no. Because the Allies will definitely be reinforcing Britain. Ireland, sure, but not Britain. But it looks like the Axis are starting to bog them down a little bit, too. I mean, the Axis are winning on most of these. Because equipment-wise, the Axis seem to be okay. It's just number-wise. They still hold Athens? No, they're fighting over some small Aegean islands here south of Athens. They still have 10 divisions there. They really need to land that somewhere, even to land it on Crete, to then redistribute it into southern Italy or something. Would be smarter, and the thing to actually do, but hey, who the hell am I to fucking say, right? It looks like the Soviets... Oh, no, that's not the Soviets. Oh, that's the... They want to send these 10 divisions all the way around to land just outside of Riga. Oh, man. That's freaking hilarious. The Soviets don't have any troops in Riga, but they have a lot of troops sitting in Palanga here and Memel region looking to invade this small-ass island. I mean, this does give them kind of a landing point into, like, say, Copenhagen and Denmark and the northern coast of Germany itself, but that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, the Allies are pushing the Japanese back. They've surrounded a few divisions. Looks like these divisions that are surrounded are trying to break out, but I don't know if they'll be able to. Same with, like, this division here. If it can take the city, it'll be okay. And the Allies don't notice it. But the Allies are pushing, and they'll link up with this Malaysian units and stuff here, possibly. Although, they've taken a lot of troops off that Malaysian peninsula, which is weird. Very strange choice by the Allies there, but... Oh, Japan has taken over New Guinea, though. And they're desperately trying to stop that invasion, but it doesn't look like the Allies have enough power to do that. So that's kind of shitty for them. Japan, meanwhile, has a ton of units. They haven't invaded the Philippines, though, and I don't really know why. That would have been my first option, not New Guinea. Even with owning all these islands, I'd still feel more comfortable owning the Philippines. Borneo, sure, you don't have to own Borneo or Java or Sumatra and stuff, the Indonesian islands, but Philippines just seems like a smart idea. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're pushing through southern Indochina in general, southern Asia. If they can push through and then form a nice line here, they'll be good. Because they could start pushing up through. This is still quite a wide front for them to hold. It looks like they've been defeated there on these Aegean islands. And the Soviets continue at their attempting push. They've slowed down quite a bit. The Axis obviously have either more troops now, or the line is now shorter for them. I don't really know which, but something's happened that has slowed the Soviet advance. So close, too. They're like right on the German border almost. Like, the German border is what? Stettin here, Kustrin and stuff. Like the last bastions of Polish quote independence are Poznan and Danzig. And that's basically it by the looks of it. Katowice. Krakow's fallen, but Katowice still is held by the Axis. And then they got Bratislava and Vienna. So they're getting close to Austria here. Yeah. Still parts of northern Greece in Axis control. And the Axis just push there. They're pushing up to the rivers here. They're taking some decent defensive positioning, which is good for them. I don't know if they'll be able to push the Soviets back, but they are in some spots a little bit. I don't know whether that'll be a... Can you imagine the Axis takes out the Soviets, the Allies take out Japan, and it's Axis versus Allies here? I honestly expect the Soviet Union to beat the Axis. The Allies, I wasn't so sure if they'd beat the Japanese or not, but it looks like they're on their way to doing that now. Like, Japan holds Papua New Guinea, but what value really is Papua New Guinea compared to China, right? Well, they're pushing in. They want Greece back. What do the Allies have for units? 75 divisions. Japan, even on their high end, doesn't have that many divisions. Also, Japan taking way more casualties. Like, wow. Though they are behind the Soviets, who have fielded an army of, what, 132 divisions. They have taken immense casualties, though. 1.4 million casualties compared to 400,000. I think that's part of the reason why the Axis are actually holding out so well and actually pushing in certain areas. The casualties are really starting to mount for the Soviets here. And I bet you the Soviets are probably... it doesn't say. Let's say up here. Yeah, here we go. No, they're only on limited conscription. Okay, they're only unlimited. The Axis is also on limited conscription. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure. The Axis units could just simply be better. That's totally plausible. If the Axis is going motorized, or just like SS-style divisions, and the Soviets are going like cavalry, because I can see some cavalry and mountain divisions and stuff, but I don't see any Soviet... Well, I see a little bit of Soviet armor, but I see more Axis armor than Soviet armor. So, I mean, if they can keep that up, there's a chance they could win. I mean, they've cut off Soviet troops in Greece now. That's a good chunk of troops that could be lost if the Axis so decide to push through. It'd be really beneficial for the Axis to land these 10 divisions in Athens and then cut the Peloponnesian region off, because there's the ports in the Peloponnesian regions that are going to keep these guys fed. So they can manage to cut them off, like hold the line like here, for example, in the province of Attica, and south of like Larissa and stuff on the peninsula. They could surround and wipe these guys right out, and that would be a big blow to Soviet morale and their troops. But yeah, the Axis are starting to slowly move back into Romania. They're getting close to Bucharest. They've pushed now quite a bit east of Danzig, taking back Konigsberg, heading towards Brest-Litovsk and such, Lublin area, north into Memel. That's some pretty valuable ports on the North Sea there. They outdo the Soviets now with factories, so they could actually outproduce the Soviets if they really wanted to. Allies still pushing. They're up almost to the Vietnamese border now, right along the river here, into parts of Laos and Cambodia. Well, they took Phnom Penh. Have they taken Laos? Yeah, they took Laos's capital as well. They're moving pretty quick in towards Hanoi. The Japanese, they could get some troops cut off in Vietnam, which wouldn't be good for them. They still have a decent standing army, though, so I mean, they're not out of this fight at all. They could still bounce back a little bit here. I mean, we're watching the Axis do just that, so I mean, it's totally plausible with Japan. My big thing there is if the Allies aren't able to defend France, it's going to be a slog, because they're going to have to fight the Axis through the Soviet Union. And that's if they can even win. Who knows? The Axis could totally win here. That's possible. I've seen stranger things happen. The Soviets now are very cut off in that pocket here. Very cut off. They can still pull all these troops out, though, and into, like, through the Black Sea and back onto the front pretty quickly. Because, again, the Axis aren't smart enough to land at Athens and take the port at Athens and the port at Kalmata there, and Patras. Because they still have that port. Or if they try to, like, work their way behind here. Yeah. And that time is... The time that they could have done that is now coming to an end as the troops pour in towards Athens now. So I imagine, yeah, there's a bunch of them in the Peloponnese region now. Evacuating, I would assume. Oh, they did surround a bunch of them. Holy crap. They actually managed to do it. Now there's only, what, 6, 7 divisions total in Greece? Bunch of them just got wiped right out. That was a huge blow. 103 divisions is what they're down to now. Wow. Wow. That was pretty crazy. Now they're going to try and defend on the isthmus here. They'll be able to mount a fairly effective defense with these divisions. But whatever. The Axis doesn't care. They're pushing pretty... They seem to slow down now. Gains on both the Axis line and the Japanese line. Oh! The Allies have landed back in New Guinea and are trying to take it. They have quite a few forces. They're fighting north to Rabaul to take the port there. And they have the port here at Leh. At least I don't think... They might not have the port. No, they have the port. They have the port at Leh. If they can get the port at Rabaul, that'll be even more beneficial to them here. The Japanese are not giving that up, though, without a fight. There we go. They just lost it. They still have the port here, though. They can still leave. They can still evacuate the island. But that's interesting. That's an interesting development. Landings there. Looks like the Allies took the Northern Solomons here. So that's good. Good for the Allies. It looks like the Japanese are pushing back the Allies, though, in Indochina. And that could be because of that landing. They might have moved troops for that landing off that front line, which isn't the smartest decision. Memel has fallen back to the Axis. I don't think they had it before, but I think they're actually pushing into Soviet-held territory that Soviets had before. Like, I don't think they had this. So that could be interesting. Yep, the Allies are pushing now. They have a lot of divisions in Leh. Looks like they're on a defensive kind of... I mean, they're pushing, but they're more interested in the defensive of Rabaul than anything else. Oh, they landed up here too, so that guy's toast. If he takes that port there. Oh, they're still fighting for it. But this guy here could be toast because of that. That landing. Oh yeah, they're moving pretty swiftly. Oh, another landing at Hollandia here. Looks like New Guinea is going to be lost for Japan, but Japan's going to do some gains back in Indochina because of the troop distraction at New Guinea, that's for sure. Yeah, that's going to cost the Allies. It wasn't really worth it. They should have gotten way farther up into Japan before they decided to do that. Fighting for Port Moresby now. This unit here is like, fuck that shit. There is a unit in Port Moresby. Oh, it's a tank division, too. Japan declared war on itself. What? Oh, Japan's in a civil war. Oh, that's not good for them. They're in a civil war. They're already fighting the Allies. Now they gotta fight themselves. Oh. That's bad for them. This other Japan actually has a decent military force, too. The island of Japan does not look like it is defended enough for this. Also, this green Japan is taking fucking everything. The Allies are taking this advantage and just absolutely steamrolling now. Again, through the middle part of New Guinea is still held by the Japanese. And it looks like the Allies are... what the fuck are they doing? I don't even know what they're doing. They're pushing through pretty steadily, though. There's no opposition. Just none. Oh, also Korea is a thing. Hi, Korea. How are you? The state of Japan owns you. Okay, so you're just a puppet. Right, alright. Fair enough. Oh, that was bad for Japan. The Axis advance is kind of bogged down by the looks of it. They are not moving as quickly. The Allies now are just going right through. Oh yeah, they've cut off those divisions there. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. Yeah, that's a slog there. I imagine Japan's not doing... they're only 30%, but they have the main home islands. That's the big thing. That's the bigger prize here for them. The state of Japan, though, has surrounded it quite a bit. They own quite a bit of valuable land. They just need to make sure they don't get bogged down somewhere and then defeated. But it's going to give the Allies what they need, because even if the state of Japan manages to beat back these guys, the Allies are still coming up pretty quickly on their butts there. They're not going to be able to retake enough, you know? Alright. Yeah, they're getting sandwiched here. Oof, that's not good. What does this Japan have for an army? 30 divisions, okay. Against close to that. Oh my god, the Allies have a lot of divisions now. Oh, major fighting on the front. Can't really tell who's winning there. Oh yeah, Japan now there's been cut off, so Jesus. Oof. Oh, they've invaded. Oh, Russia now has some issues there to deal with. Uh-oh. Revolution in Russia, the White Russians. That'd be the White Russian flag. Oh, there's a lot of Soviet troops now trapped right here. That's going to cost quite a bit if the Germans can capitalize on that. That would be the best thing they could possibly do. Capitalize on that, take out as many as possible. Also shortens their front, so they could mass troops and just shove their way in while the White Russians invade and cause havoc. So it looks like the Allies are at war with the other Japan as well. Not that it matters. They're pushing up there quite a bit. Yeah, not that it matters. They have the troops to do it. They've kicked the Japanese off of New Guinea with the exception of down at the very end of the peninsula by Port Moresby here. I don't know whether there's troops in there or not. I don't think so. The Allies look like they're moving a couple troops in, so that'll be fine. That will be fine. Oh, Jesus. Alright. Looks like the whites are doing okay. Not making any major gains. The Germans, though, are taking full advantage. Some fighting over Crimea. It looks like the whites are going to probably lose Crimea. They're also losing like this area here too, which is not great because the Germans need to make sure they've got that line defended, but it looks like they do as the Russians kind of take over White Russian land. The Germans are right there. They're also very close to Leningrad. Very close to Leningrad. Almost to Moscow. Oh yeah, look, there's like no troops defending it right now. The Reds are just in a collapse. Almost halfway. Look at those divisions, not very many. Oof. What do the White Russians hold? Not that many either. So the White Russians are not going to have an easy time when the Axis wants to turn around and declare war on them once the Soviets fall. Allies still moving up in China against the green Japanese. I don't know what to call them. Regular Japan. The state of Japan has pretty much taken the home islands, though. The only real thing is just some stuff here on Kokura, and then Hokkaido is held by the green Japan. So they hold the home islands, which is good because without that they would have collapsed a long-ass time ago. The Allies could land, but it's going to be difficult for them to land, I think. I can see them declaring war on the Soviet Union once they hit that border and take all this out. They'll probably do some like naval landings, like they'll probably be able to take like Okinawa and Taiwan, Formosa, as well as island hop through here. But I don't think that's enough to lose these. I think they'd have to have an invasion of the home islands and take some major cities, like take not even Tokyo necessarily, but like Osaka, Hiroshima, and the such. They are holding on pretty well though to Nagasaki and stuff. I mean, it is their capital, so I'm not too surprised. And then they're bogged down in Manchuria. Nope, no more steel from the Soviets. Oh my. Oh, is that the Soviets done? No, Japan. State of Japan took... So regular Japan was just taken out. State of Japan annexed Manchuria. And you still got the Allies in here, so that's not really going to matter. The Allies are still going to just move right up through here, I would imagine. Oh yeah, they've still got troops kicking around, and the State of Japan doesn't at all. So they're just going to go... Pfft. They're going to take a lot of that before they can probably manage to defend it well enough. They don't have the troops really to hold that back. I don't think. Not anymore. Not anymore. I thought that was the Soviets. Oh my god, look at the Soviets here. In Saratov. Desperately trying to defend. That's a lot of units to be surrounded there. Again. Just a lot. My birds are going to chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. No fighting. I don't want any bird fights. Ooh, yeah, they've been squeezed. They're done. That's it. They've got to be close. Yeah, they are really close. They've lost so many... Oh my god. 4.2 million. The Axis haven't even lost 1 million yet. Even with Russia and the Axis, they haven't lost 1 million. That's bonkers. The Axis will go after White Russia next, and White Russia won't survive very long, I don't think. The Axis just has so much. Okay. I'm surprised they haven't pushed up quicker than that into Japan. I figured they would have by now. Oh, Japan, or the Soviets' capital's at Vladivostok now. They won't get there before they surrender. They'll surrender after another big center falls. The White Russians can manage to, like, take over cities up here, Ufa and stuff. That'd be enough, I think. It's meant to be a two-parter, too. I'm getting on a half an hour here. I couldn't do the second part of, what was the Legacy of 1790 or whatever. It kept crashing after a certain point, so unfortunately I couldn't do a second part. But this one seems really stable. There's been no issues at all. Where 1790 had issues from the start, so, yeah. We should be able to easily do a part 2. I'm shocked the Axis came back from that. I figured they would have been done already. And we would be seeing the Soviets crushing through Japan, and then probably the Allies at war with them by now. I'm shocked. This is Hitler's wet dream. Honestly. Completely his wet dream here. As the Axis forces just steamroll across. They're almost at the Urals now. The Soviets are just in a free fall. Oh yeah, 98%. One more major center. Could lose Ufa here, and that could be it. That should be a desperate last stand for the Soviets, honestly. Across the river at Ufa. There it goes. And it's gone. And the Axis declares war on White Russia. There's a lot of Axis troops in Russia, though. Oh no, they all got kicked out of there and then back into Germany. The White Russians don't have the troop numbers, though. I think the Axis should be able to push them back before the Russians can even mobilize enough. Japan's doing a little pushback there. I don't see any differentiation going on, so I don't know what the fuck the Allies are doing. They have no troops there. Where the fuck are all the Allied troops? Get onto that fucking line, you dipshits. Honestly, if the Allies are going to fight like this, they're going to lose. Oh, they lost Buen. They lost the port and then the Solomon there, and they're all crying about it now. Okay, whatever. Get your shit together, allies. Good God. You're about to go against... You're going to go against the Axis soon. Although they seem to have a lot of troops in France now. It looks like they're pretty ready. Yeah, oh yeah, the Axis are just steamrolling the whites. Yeah, Japan's pushed them back a little bit here. Focus on Europe. There's nothing going on in Europe. Just ignore Europe. It's not real. Europe's a figment of your imagination. I was really hoping Japan would have fallen by now. They will. I mean, once the Axis beat the White Russians here, they'll probably go after Japan. It's going to take them a few minutes to get them to capitulate fully. Oh yeah, Japan has invaded New Guinea again. That's where the Allies have sent some troop focus. Because they need to keep those useless fucking islands. God damn, it's just depressing. They were up to like here, almost. Like, come on, guys. You have the troop numbers. I know you have the troop numbers, because if I fucking go here, and I go into here, you have 345 divisions. Japan has maybe 30. They have 33. How the hell are you not able to beat the shit out of them? You should be absolutely steamrolling them by now. You should have the continent and be just trying to make landings on the home islands by this point. It's pretty pathetic. Whereas the Axis are actually impressive. They're actually showing impressive initiative and gains and just doing really well. Super well. Way too good. Don't know what's going on there. But whatever. What are the troops the Axis have? So 345, right? Against 195? Yeah. The others have more factories, but they're also kind of more spread out. It really depends on if the Allies can get their shit together for beating the Axis and the quality of their units. That's going to be a big one, too. Okay, they're pushing Japan back again. So hopefully they can actually, you know, push them back. There's still some landings going on at north of Leh and on the backside here, but there's nothing these troops have for any kind of reinforcement. These troops here can stay healthy. They've got a port, but... Oh, they did take the Solomons again. Okay. Thompson. A little bit of a slowdown on this front, but they're still pushing pretty reliably. Which is good, because they'll fall pretty quick. Nice. Okay. Ooh, is that Tallinn surrounded? No. West of it. East of it, even. Not west of it. Poor Leningrad. You're going to be taken over twice. Oh, they're all about to cut off their Caucasus troops here. Yeah, they just cut those guys right off. Taking all that. A lot of oil and valuable resources there. They bubbled. They're going to cut off anything in the north there soon. Yeah, there's a few troops up there. They're focusing south, though. Be great if they could just sweep through and take here up to here. Any troops north of here are done then. I'm getting really close to Moscow. Ooh. Not good for White Russia. I would assume White Russia has produced a few more units, though. Okay, they're up to 40. Never mind. I take it back. They can't even probably man that whole line with 40 units. There's no way they can man that long of a line. There's got to be huge holes. Yeah, this hole here, at Penza, there's huge holes. Moscow fell. Leningrad is now the de facto capital. They might fall before they even hit the Urals. Not a lot of movement on the Japan line right now. I think the focus for both of them seems to be New Guinea for some reason or another. Not entirely sure why. Oh my god, allies. Your fucking hierarchy's a mess. And Japan just took Rabaul. Come on, allies. You guys are fucking pathetic at keeping this shit together. It's just kind of sad. I wonder if the Axis are going to have like a civil war. You know, like Russia and Japan. I don't think so, but that'd be really funny. I don't know why they would. They're pretty unified. Oh. They got a war goal on the Allies. Oh, ho, ho. They'll declare war on Japan first. Leningrad is pretty close to surrounded. Well, I think it is surrounded, actually. They're about to take Volkov here. Yep. Oh yeah, Leningrad's not gonna last. Bunch of troops along here, too. Oh, they're right on this doorstep. Oh, they cut those guys off. We'll cut that guy off. And Leningrad has fallen. What's their capital now? Is it Vladivostok? Yep. Vladivostok. I don't blame them. That's a smart thing to do. It's a big city. It's far away. But I mean, now their troops are just... Oh yeah, they're done. They can lose like one or two more centers here and they're screwed. They don't have the resolve the Reds did. Oh yeah. There you go, the Allies pushing. I don't think the Allies are at war with, like, Korea, technically. Oh no, they are. Okay. It's just the state of Japan. It's just a puppet. Maybe they aren't, because they're not invading into it. Maybe they can't invade in there? I don't know why. You know, they're not at war with them, so... That's weird. They're just kind of there. Bunch of Japanese troops up north here getting surrounded and wiped out. Oh, yeah, there's nothing left there either. They just retreated down the peninsula. Rough. Quite rough. Now, will the Allies attempt a landing on the home islands? That's the question. Will they give that a try? Is that a white Russian troop? Why? Why are you there? Because the Japanese are desperately trying to take New Guinea. Still. For no... Oh! Russia's annexed. Who is the Axis now at war with? Japan? Nobody. They're not at war with anybody right now. Oh, I took... Shit. Observe. There we go. So they're not actually at war with anybody right away. They're not going to declare war right on Japan or the Allies. I guess the Allies are technically stronger. They could declare war on Japan. That's absolutely plausible. They do border them right here. And technically they border Korea right here. So I don't really know. The Allies fighting them in New Guinea still, and fighting for Rabaul still. So I don't know about planned invasions to the home island. I don't see any quite yet, but I think we'll stop it here for this part. The Axis taking over Russia, Japan on its last legs. We'll see what happens next time. Peace.